Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. Bill O'Reilly, Sean Spicer, Eric Bolling, whatever your last name is, all three of y'all tried it. I'm not going to give all three of you your own video because I don't have that kind of time and I need to go to bed. But anyway, this is a 3-for-1 special tonight. All three of you tried it, so let me just jump right into it. Bill O'Reilly, you tried it. Mainly you tried it because I know you of all people didn't have the nerve to go after anybody when it comes to hair. When you got that thin ass dog hair sitting on top of your head, shedding every single day when you go on that TV show. If you don't know who Bill O'Reilly is, which most of you probably do, he's this big time news anchor on Fox News. He has one of the highest rated news shows in the country. He's known for always saying very outlandish things. He always pisses off liberals and everything because he's very right-wing conservative. So the liberals and Bill O'Reilly are always going at it about everything. And anyway, Bill O'Reilly has always been known to say very outlandish things. But today on his show, he had a segment where they were talking about Maxine Waters. If you don't know who Maxine Waters is a congresswoman from California around the Los Angeles area. A black woman, been in Congress for decades. Anyway, they played a clip of Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is spewing her, her 2 cents about why she doesn't really support Donald Trump. And, she's saying her 2 cents about Donald Trump. And she's been very vocal about where she stands with Donald Trump since the election, all right? And so as the clip is playing, he's kind of like mocking her and mouthing something you could make out because he's just mouthing some words. And then at the end he goes, oh, I couldn't get past the James Brown wig. And, the commentators are laughing. And I was like, okay. And I mean, for some people, they be like, oh, it's just a joke. It's not that serious. Oh, y'all, black people, y'all always doing the most, blah, 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 blah. But it's actually a whole lot deeper than that because it's actually symbolic of what a lot of white men do to black women, which is always be very dismissive of anything that they're talking about and always distract from whatever the issue is that they're addressing and try to put it on to something that relates to their appearance or relates to them physically as a way to distract from the real issue. It's a way of basically taking their voice away without actually taking their voice away because it's you changing the narrative of what's actually important. Okay, and that's exactly what he's done. And so my bigger issue, though, is, again, I was just like, Bill O'Reilly, of all people, you got some nerve. Like, that's probably not your department to talk in. If you're going to talk about looks and appearance, you need to make sure that you got your house together. And I'm not going to go there, but you're out of line, to be very honest, because if we're going to start talking about the looks department, I can name a bunch of different things that are wrong in your appearance. Now, I'm not the one to judge, folks, because God made you the way he wanted to. I don't know if he was on lunch break when he made a few people, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm not going to sit here and go in on Bill O'Reilly physically on how he looks, but he might want to stay in his lane because that isn't his gift when it comes to look departments. Okay, that's not his ministry at all. And so the other thing is like, you need to make sure that you have your stuff together if you're going to talk about anybody. But, to be honest, I'm sure Maxine Waters is actually very happy that he can't get past her James Brown wig because that means if she were to ever go on his show, because of course he said this comment while she was not on the show, he was actually showing a clip of a video because I'm very, very sure he would have said it had she was on the show because she's about that life. But I'm very sure that she's glad that you can't get past that wig because that means if she goes on the show, she doesn't have to worry about being sexually assaulted or have to deal with your sexual misconduct because, Bill O'Reilly does have a handful of sexual assault and sexual misconduct lawsuits that he's been trying to brush under the table for years, and he just had a recent one as recent as last year. So Bill O'Reilly might want to stay in his lane and humble down, okay? Bill, you got other issues to take care of. So as far as Maxine Waters and her James Brown wig, if that's what she wants to do, okay, if that's the wig that she wants to rock that day, she's doing her thing. You just worry about you. And to anybody who might want to try to talk about what kind of hair I got, don't worry about what my hair looks like. Mine is together, okay? This stuff is magical. It does all kind of tricks and treats, okay? It can bounce back and do all kind of things. Some of y'all wish y'all had this kind of hair. Those of you who want to try to talk about black people and how our hair looks, don't worry about it. Our hair has magical powers, okay? And ours doesn't fall out when we're 22. Anyway, that reminds me, that's kind of like Steve Bannon. Alright, that was like when he made that rhetoric about how his genes were superior to everybody else's. And I was like, wait, listen, if y'all are going to get people... Because here's my thing. When it comes to the whole racism issue and these white supremacists and white nationalists and everything, listen, y'all do y'all little movement. I really don't care because I don't lose sleep over nothing that y'all are doing. But if y'all are going to go out and make these outlandish statements, especially when it comes to phenotypes and body parts and everything, y'all need to make sure that y'all got the right people who look the part to make these statements, okay? My issue with the people who are like bluntly racist, because I've already said, I don't mind racist people as long as they're upfront about their racism and their hate for everybody else who's not white. Cool. I like to know where you stand. That's good because that I can stay in my lane, you can stay in yours, and we can exist without interacting with each other, and I'm perfectly fine. It's the ones who try to act like they're all about the people and everything else, and really behind closed doors they're the scum of the earth. Those are the ones I beef with. But my thing is, if you're gonna go and do the whole racist thing, can y'all start putting more intelligent people in front to do the talking? The problem now is y'all got the dumbest people doing all the talking. It just makes y'all look foolish, which leads me into some of these next people. So then the next one, because yes, Steve Bannon, I couldn't. I was like, now Steve Bannon is over here aging like a sliced apple and got the nerve to want to talk about having superior genes over me. Okay. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I can guarantee you by the time I'm Steve Bannon's age, I'll probably look a lot better than he does right now. All right, y'all need to find a new representative. Y'all need some new representation to start making these outlandish statements, okay? Because this messing up y'all case, not mine. Oh, good. Then Eric Bolling, I don't know what the boy's name is, Bolling, whatever his last name is. Long story short, he's not as important as Bill O'Reilly. That's why I don't know his last name. At least Bill O'Reilly is a terrible as he is as a person. He knows how to keep his name in the media. He knows how to keep his brand there. Eric, you need to work a little bit harder because you ain't doing a good job. But on his show or his segment, by the way, it was called Gangstas with the AS at the end and Demons. He was also talking about Maxine Waters. And at the end of her clip that played, because of course she wasn't in his show either, because I know what he was about to say he would have said had she been there. His response was, well, she should take a cue from Whitney Houston and stay away from the crack. And I said, see, y'all can't even throw good jokes, man. That's the thing that get me. Like, y'all want to talk all this trash and y'all don't even do it good. That's what pisses me off. If you're going to really throw some jabs out there, throw some good stuff. I was like, first of all, Whitney Houston and a crack joke. You're about 5 years late. Whitney been dead since 2012. So the Whitney Houston crack jokes are kind of outdated. In addition to that, Whitney already told y'all crack was cheap, okay? She had made too much money in her career to ever do crack. She told y'all crack was whack, okay? She was doing cocaine. So you need to make sure you get the right drug. And bless her spirit and all. But at the end of the day, okay, she said it was cocaine, not crack. Get your facts right. But anyway, telling you, folks just be I'm tired. Y'all be trying to tell jokes and your jokes be dry. They don't even be good. It's irritating. Y'all can't do anything right. Like everything y'all do just crumbles. I don't get it. And then Sean Spicer tried it today as well, because Sean Spicer felt that because he's the press secretary, he could tell April Ryan, another black woman who's a journalist who's been in journalism for years, he's gonna tell her, can you stop nodding your head while I'm talking, or basically, they weren't agreeing on something, and so as he was speaking, because he kept cutting her off, and every time she would say something, he would try to shut her down. So while he was saying some other Sean Spicer type stuff, if she was nodding her head in disagreement, he tells her, can you please stop nodding your head, or can you stop nodding your head? And I'm like, first of all, who are you? You just the press secretary. You ain't calling no shots up in here. Like, first of all, Sean Spicer, your job, my friend, is Donald Trump and crew gives you a piece of paper with some nonsense on it, and your job is to just read that piece of paper and be loyal to it, which I will say, Spicer does a good job of being loyal to whatever that White House tells him to say, because they can tell him the most foolish thing, and he will go and report that and stick with it. And I mean, he does it with conviction, too. Like, when there was that whole nonsense about the inauguration crowd, and he was really trying to convince everybody that it was one of the biggest inauguration crowds ever, when we all saw on camera that there was nobody there. And mind you, I live in D.C., okay? It was a really empty day that day. There were people there, but it wasn't no 1.8 million people, I can tell you that, or whatever. Even the metro was like, there were actually more people going to the Cherry Blossom Festival on the trains that day. But anyway, it's not that important. But, like Sean Spicer, and the thing about Sean Spicer, which I'm going to get to, is Sean Spicer is... Hold on, let me pause on Sean Spicer. I'm going to come right back to him. I'm going to just put Sean Spicer right here. And so, getting to my main point. My main point is, again, this showcases what I've been saying on the channel for a long time, is that black women are not able to exist as themselves. They're not allowed to be assertive. They're not allowed to have an opinion. They're not allowed to go against the status quo. And it's funny because there was also a trending topic on Twitter today, like black women at work, which fit perfectly with everything I'm talking about and everything that goes on in the world, where black women were basically putting tweets about what their experiences at work. They're not allowed to be emotional. They're not allowed to have an opinion. They're not allowed to get mad. They're not allowed to be too happy. They're not allowed to be stern, because with every emotion or every entity that they exist in, somebody has an opposite rebuttal that they have a problem with. So when black women become a little too assertive, now they're aggressive, they're dangerous. And I've seen it happen all the time, especially between black women and white women. White women will sit there and dish stuff out all the time. And then the minute a black woman even responds, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, I'm threatened. And then they call HR, and then they got to have a mediation, and this person needs to go to another office, and I see it all the time. And the funniest thing is, a lot of times, black women, like black people in general, we're very animated already, because we just have really unique personalities. Okay, we're just the life of the party wherever we go. But when we respond to stuff, people automatically think we're yelling. Like right now, somebody probably thinks I'm livid in this video and I'm just going off. And I'm like, no, this is how I talk all the time. I'm not yelling at nobody. But to some people watching, they might think I'm freaking lunatic, or I'm aggressive, or I'm crazy, or I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm out of control, I'm wild. And so that's what happens. But like when it comes, especially to black women, who I want to focus on in this is, black women are not allowed to exist. And another thing I notice is whenever there is like a black woman who's very assertive, very articulate, very intelligent, very successful, very about her business, has her stuff together, and she's in a situation where she's in some kind of confrontation with a white man. I notice it a lot of times with white men. Not all of them, but a lot of them. If that white man is not able to give a decent rebuttal or refute whatever statements she's made, they always go to character assassination or character attacks, or they start talking down to the woman in like a condescending way. And that's pretty much what Spicer did to April Ryan, and that's pretty much what Bill O'Reilly and Eric Bolling did with Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is basically saying, you know, issues that she really has about what's going on with the current presidency. April Ryan was asking legitimate questions that her organization has asked her to ask, and because both Spicer and Bolling and O'Reilly are, I don't know if they're insecure or intimidated by intelligent black women, instead of actually addressing the actual issues, what do? They start talking down or trying to belittle or do character attacks. So the character attacks would be the crack. Or the character attack would be the James Brown way. The condescending thing would be stop nodding your head. They do that because that's the only way that they can still feel empowered with the element that they're standing in. Because once privilege has been challenged, then it's the end of the world for the person who's privileged if they don't meet the status quo when it comes to being able to carry themselves in a manner where they can actually be quick on their feet to retaliate or have answers like, you know, fire rapid answers. If they don't have that, then it's a wrap for them. And so that's pretty much what it is. But going back to Spicer, let me pick that back up. Dude, like Spicer just reminds me of somebody like, I feel like when he was in high school or middle school, I feel like he's one of those kids where he didn't make the football team and the parents sued the school and the whole football team and the whole football program was shut down, and now the school only has cricket, you know, and tennis. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like he's that kind of person, because it's funny that people always say black women are too emotional or black people are too emotional, but when you look at how Spicer reacts every time somebody criticizes him, he really takes everything to heart. He like gets red, he gets all uncomfortable, and he literally loses his mind up there. And he's like, I'm like, is he about to cry? I'm confused. But anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and rant all day. I'm just black women, I got y'all back. Just know that. But long story short, can y'all leave black women alone? Y'all, for some reason, seem to be intimidated by them. And I don't know why, because they seem to be the only demographic that seems to be keeping everything together in this country. Alright? Hoteps don't be trying to fight me on that comment either. I ain't got time. But anyway, yes, today was very interesting. I said this was just the day they were all going to try black women. But yes, Bill O'Reilly, you don't need to make any more comments about anybody until you get all of them sexual assault cases taken care of. And Eric Bolling or Bolling, whatever your last name is, you need to get your stuff together so you can at least get on Bill O'Reilly's level so people can know who you are. All right? And Spicer, you just keep reading that piece of paper they give you. I just want you to know tomorrow Donald Trump's going to tell you to go tell the whole world that the sky is green. So you just make sure you do a good job of doing that, okay? And you might get a certificate for being loyal to a bunch of foolishness. Anyway, I'm out. Subscribe.